Welcome back to Fox News at Night. Extended primary coverage tonight. All right, we heard a short time ago from the Republicans. They say they're talking about gas taxes in California and the sanctuary city revolt, and wondering whether Democratic enthusiasm is there tonight. Well, let's ask a man who should know. Patrick Burgwinkle, communications director for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, joins us now on the phone. Patrick, a busy night. Thanks for being with us. What do you make of what we've seen so far across the country?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Shannon. I think we are seeing that Democratic enthusiasm is once again carrying the day in these primary races in New Jersey, in Iowa, and through here to California. So we're really excited about the candidates who are winning these primaries and emerging from their races. These are candidates with deep ties to these districts, and we think they'll go on to a lot of success in November.
Okay, so I want to read you something that we had a little bit earlier from the Washington Examiner. Selena Zito writing this: the Democrats' biggest challenge is internal. Their enthusiasm is left of center, but their path to the majority is smack dab in the center. Meaning to gain back the seats they lost in their pitch left between 2009 and 2016, they need to center themselves. What is the focus of the party? There's clearly energy on the further left, on the more progressive left, but are you thinking about that and weighing it as you look at candidates to back for the primaries tonight and then leading you into the general?
Well, I think the focus of the party throughout these primary campaigns has been on two issues, and that's health care and the tax bill that the Republican Congress passed and President Trump signed into law. On health care, we saw a revolt across the country against Republican attempts to rip health care away from working people. And even in this tax bill, because of the provisions in it, healthcare premium is going to spike across the country due to this irresponsible Republican tax plan. And our candidates are in the districts talking about healthcare, talking about the tax bill and what it means for these districts. And, these candidates understand the districts they're running in. They're out there every day talking to voters. And we feel really good about the message they're delivering across the country.
Well, as you know, the Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center, which a lot of people think actually leans to the left, said 85% of Americans were getting a cut under this tax bill. 10% would remain the same. 5% may have some kind of hike. And polling shows the more that people learn about it, the more they see their paychecks, they actually think it's not such a bad thing. It's growing in popularity. So how do you run against that?
Well, we haven't seen that it is growing in popularity. And ultimately, a big problem with this tax bill, in addition to the healthcare premium increases that it's going to lead to, is that it was hugely weighted towards large corporations and the wealthy. And so Americans understand that imbalance in the bill. And I think many Americans will agree that there are better things to spend $1.5 trillion on than massive tax cuts for large corporations and the wealthiest Americans who don't need it. And, candidates
but also including 85% of Americans. I mean, 85% of Americans.
Well,
those aren't my numbers.
Yeah, we're not disputing that some Americans will get some tax cuts in this bill, but they understand that the lion's share of the tax cuts went to these corporations and went to the wealthiest Americans. And many Americans have said, maybe they get a little bit and it helps, and that's great. But they see that it's a very unbalanced bill. And I think there's a lot of questions as to why Republican members thought it was more important to give these massive tax cuts to corporations and to the wealthy when there are a lot of other things that we could spend that money on.
Well, we know those are the sectors of society that also pay by far the largest margin of the taxes. But, Patrick, I hear you. Patrick Burgwinkle, we thank you very much for joining us tonight as we watch these races play out. It's going to be a late night, probably an early morning in a lot of places as well. Thanks, Patrick.